Y'all, I gotta take a drink on that one. So listen.
Your love is rated X. That means you're extraordinary.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk with Aislyn Wade. I tell you what, y'all better stop sleeping on me. I got vocals every now and again. Okay, I ain't like a singer, but like I have moments. Okay, hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk. YouTube, what is good? It is so good to see y'all again. Y'all, I am so happy to see y'all. I'm so happy to be here. I am hype. And yeah. I'm just gonna move my chair a little bit. Let me see. Okay, so nope, I'm gonna move it back this way. Oh well, she gonna be all right. Y'all can't see her. Yeah, barely. I'm gonna move my mic. If I move my mic up this way a little bit, hey, look at it. Look what the Lord has done. He healed my body. He touched my mind. Hey, okay. I forgot the words. That's why I had to stop. So, you guys listening to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, the Spotify for Podcasters app, formerly known as Anchor, or really anywhere else that you're listening to podcasts. You guys can't see it, but YouTube can see it. My roommate is here. She is in the background studying. And so this hand is probably going to be up a lot. I have the mic in the way to block her, but every time she leans down, her head gets in the way. And I didn't realize that. So it's all right. She good. Anyway, guys, welcome back. It is so good to see you. It is so good to be here. And, we hype. I'm so happy to be here. Listen, I don't want to waste your time because I want to get into the topic today. So without further ado, let's get into something we like to call here over at Let's Talk, Word on the Street. Word on the Street, you guys. Word on the Street is our version of like hot topics or, you know, anything that celebrity gossip, basically. We're talking about what's going on in these streets. We're talking about what's happening right now. So I want to come to y'all with some stories. I have a couple of stories in mind. I have a couple of stories I want to share with you guys. First, actually, I think just one story. Actually, make that two stories because there was one I forgot about, but now seeing this picture of her, I'm coming back to it. Number one, let's get into it. Some of you might know Pastor Dietrich Haddon. If you don't, let me tell you, Pastor Dietrich Haddon, he is, you know, medium in the gospel world. And now he's kind of big. I would say he's pretty big. I didn't really know about him until I got to my old church, but he's pretty big. So anyway, Dietrich Haddon, he is actually facing backlash for dancing with his wife at his 50th birthday party. That in itself is a crazy sentence. Yes. So Dietrich Haddon, obviously just celebrated being on this earth for 50 years, 50 trips around the sun, as people say. And first of all, that's an accomplishment in itself. But second of all, hold on, because is my mic on? Okay. All right, we're here. I promise y'all I did a mic check before I started. Anyway, that is an accomplishment in itself. But he was dancing, he was at the party. So let me paint a picture for you. YouTube, I'm going to try to insert the video right here. But for those of you guys listening, let me paint the picture for you. So basically, Pastor Dietrich is at his 50th birthday party, and he and his wife are dancing, and she throwing that thing back. She backing that thing up, okay, on her husband, and he's living, honey. He ain't doing much but throwing them hands in the air and saying, "Thank you, God, oh bashata, for these cakes that you blessed me with. Hey, hallelujah." Look, I don't see the problem. And that's my take to that word on the street. I don't see the problem. Listen, I'm gonna say this, and I've said it before when y'all came from Mike Todd and Natalie when they did the Kiki, do you love me? And actually, Pastor Natalie was not twerking on Pastor Mike. Pastor Mike was twerking on Pastor Natalie. And people, at this point, people just want to, like, I'm gonna say it. People just want to hate people in the Christian community, especially people who have like influence or people who are a little bit more popular in the Christian community, and especially Mike Todd. Y'all want to hate Mike Todd so bad. You want to hate him so bad that you will misconstrue things and make things up just to prove this narrative that he's this false prophet or he's a terrible I'm here to tell you, I went to the Transformation version 2 conference last year in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and it was anointed. Like the same anointing that you feel when you're watching it on YouTube is the same anointing that you get in the building. And when I tell you my discernment is on 1,000, my discernment is on 1,000. Ask every ex-boyfriend of mine, and they will tell you, she knew I was cheating before I knew I was cheating. I know, because my discernment is on 1,000. So one thing about me, if it was some false prophecy going on in there, I would have walked in that building and known right away. So, but y'all want to hate him so bad. Anyway, very similar to this, what I said about Pastor Mike Todd and his wife, and people, even like people were coming for him when they went on vacation and they were somewhere tropical, and sis was in a bikini, and he took a video of her in her bikini. And people were like, oh, you post your wife in a bikini? Boy, here's what I'm gonna say to y'all, okay? I said it before when y'all came from Mike Todd multiple times. I'm gonna say it again for Dietrich Haddon. And Dietrich Haddon isn't even my favorite, but I'm gonna still say this. You need to leave pastors alone. You need to leave ministers alone. You need to leave worship leaders alone. You need to leave people in ministry alone. You need to leave people alone. Okay, my niece is texting me. She's gonna have to wait because I'm busy. You need to leave people in ministry alone. Here she goes. She need money. That's my baby though. That's my baby. And I do it for her because she's my favorite, but don't tell the rest of the kids. Anyway, y'all need to leave people in ministry alone. Period. Point blank. Boop, bop, badop. Leave people in ministry alone. And I'm gonna tell you why. They're not perfect. Just like you're not perfect and you're an imperfect person, people in ministry are not perfect. Pastors are not perfect. I feel like I'm not talking to my mic enough. Pastors are not perfect. And furthermore, neither one of these pastors, I mean, this is about Dietrich Haddon, but I'm saying it's very similar to Mike Todd. Neither pastor was out here twerking on some random woman. Like, it's not like we're talking about Chance the Rapper getting his twerk on at Carnival with some woman who's not his wife. And by the way, it was off in the games till he gave her that booty smack. That booty smack had intention behind it. I don't like that. If my husband was out here, it's one thing if you dancing at Carnival. That's the culture of that. But if you mess around and bop bop them cakes, oh no, we have a problem. You ain't bop bopping nobody's cakes but mine, sir. What? No. But y'all need to leave these folks alone. In case you missed it, let me just say it. These are their wives that they're twerking with and on and dancing with. This is this man's 50th birthday party. He is at a party surrounded by friends and family and people that he loves and cherishes, and the people that he loves and cherishes. And that is his wife. W-I-F-E, wife. That's not his girlfriend. That's not his fiance. That's not some girl that he's talking to. That's not like a friend with benefits. That's not just like a friend or somebody random that he met at the party. That is his wife. That is his wife. His wife has every right to twerk on him, and she should, because that is her husband. That marriage bed is undefiled. Okay? They could do it right there at the party if they wanted to. And it's undefiled because they are married. They are under covenant, honey. So that's his wife. Ain't no problem. And before you be like, well, keep it in the bedroom, that don't even make sense. Shut up. You don't go to the club and tell people who are in the club who don't even know each other to keep it in the bedroom when they're twerking. And some of them are having sex on the dance floor. And that twerk was innocent. I have twerked worse on people that I don't know. So, and I'm not saying recently, that was years ago before I really encountered and had a relationship with Jesus. But my point there is that this is his wife. She can twerk on him and he can twerk on her, and y'all need to mind your business. Most of you upset about the situation are unwed with no prospect in sight. There you go. And you haven't had one in a long, long time because you're bitter. I said it. You're welcome. Okay? Drag me if you want to. I know who I am. So leave folks alone. Leave married people alone. All right? So that's that. I want to move on to, there's two things I want to say about Sierra. I'm talking about Sierra. The first part of this, last week we talked about Keke Palmer and her man, her baby daddy, and how he had an issue with the dress that she wore to the Usher concert. Somebody posted something, and I'm just going to read what they said. And then again, on YouTube, I'm going to do my best to insert the picture. But it says, it was a tweet and someone said that dress wasn't the problem. I think, oh, let me go back. I'm sorry. For those of you who don't know, or you didn't listen to last week's episode, first of all, click off, sign off, and go back and watch last week's episode. But Keke Palmer was out in Vegas at Usher's residency show, and she was dancing with Usher. Usher approached her. He was singing, you know, "There Goes My Baby," and he was dancing with Keke, and she was wearing a little sheer situation. And yes, her cakes were kind of out, but you didn't notice that until she turned around, you know, and it was appropriate for the situation. So Kiki's baby daddy tweeted, and he was like, "It's the outfit though, you a mom." And he was upset. He was really upset about the way Keke, quote unquote, portrayed herself at the Usher concert. He didn't like what she was wearing, and that was his big deal. So somebody tweeted, "The dress wasn't the problem. I think Darius is just a little insecure with the way she danced with Usher." Fair enough. She was fangirling hard, and Usher was hand girling hard. Keke is a beautiful woman, and Usher was looking like, I could risk it all right now, but I won't. So somebody tweeted back at that, and they said, this dress that Ciara wore to the Oscars was even more risque than what Keke wore. Yet look at Russell's reaction, and these ones are even married. May our husbands not be our weapons, fashion for our debatification. And then again, I'll show you guys again on YouTube, you know, what Keke was wearing and what she had to look like. And then I'm gonna put the post up here on YouTube so YouTube can see it. So if you're listening to this, you want to see what it looked like, just go over to my YouTube at Aislyn Wade and you can take a look. But I kind of agree with that. I do think that Darius was a little insecure because Ciara really was at the Oscars half naked. Like that's not a joke. And Ciara is a whole mom. She got Trace kids, 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 kids. And Russell was just looking back like, yes, that is my wife, honey. My wife. Okay. So I do think that Darius was a little jealous. And I get it. He's a little insecure and it is what it is. Also on the topic of Ciara, and don't mind me YouTube if I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking for my next story. I obviously know where it is. I just need to pull it up really quick. So here we go. So, Future. We're talking about Future. And let me tell you, I don't like Future. I don't care for Future. He's never been fine to me. I don't like his antics. I don't like his foolishness. So I'm not going to waste any time on Future. I'm not going to waste a lot of time on Future, but, well, no, anytime. I'm just going to give you the story and I'm going to move on. Future is at it again. He just made a song and he's talking about how much he, basically, you know, how he lost Ciara. She was the one that got away from him. And he's talking about that. And then he's like coming at Russell Wilson and he's like, F Russell and all that crap. And like, he even said something about Lori Harvey. Future is a baby. He's a man-child. He needs to grow up. And he needs to leave Ciara alone. She is happily married. She has moved on. She leveled up. You're trash. You're trifling. And you know you're trifling. And you're mad that, again, she leveled up. And that is on you. Now, this microphone has been too far away from my mouth this whole time, so I really apologize, podcast family, if if y'all didn't hear me well until just now. But anyway, yeah, Future's at it again. He's desperate, he's jealous, and he's also upset about the way that Russell is showing up in his son's life, which honestly is nothing to be upset about if you were a good father who wasn't going out impregnating half of the United States. I said what I said. It's true. Russell is showing up as a father figure for your son. And honestly, Russell is more of a father figure to your son than you are, Future. And he knows that. And that's why he's upset and he gets so mad at Russell. So Future is at it again. And I can tell you guys, I dated a Future. Not anywhere near the caliber. Well, I'm not going to say caliber, same caliber of man, but not in the same tax bracket, thank you, as Future is. Not at all. He nowhere near, never will be, okay? Because right now he's still sitting in jail. But it's the same thing. Like, dude, we have been broken up since 2021. It's 2023, and this man still tries it. He still tries to get at me. If he knew I was dating somebody else, he would be, oh, that dude corny. He don't do it like me. He don't do it like me, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? It's the same stuff. When men realize that they've lost something so precious and so valuable and so much better than what they deserved, it dawns on them like, dang, hold on, I had a chance to wipe up something that I didn't even deserve. Dang, I fumbled that bag. And they spend their whole lives trying to get it back and they never do. So Future, you're trash. And it is what it is. You're trash. Like, And y'all women, respect yourselves. Stop opening up your legs to men like Future. I'm sorry. Discernment. Okay, let's move on to the last thing in Word on the Street. Word on the street. Our last thing is this text exchange that has been going around on Twitter, and I've been dying to talk about this. I wanted to bring a friend on to talk about it. We'll have to do a part 2 of this because he was not available tonight, but he and I talked about it, and I was like, right, we're on the same page. So it's this text exchange that was going on Twitter, and it says, hi, from the girl, hi, this is so-and-so. And the guy replies, hi, with the little smiley face emoji. And she said, oh, I'm sorry. Maybe he said, I'm sorry, go back. He said, hi, this is so-and-so. And she said, hi, with a smiley face emoji. And he said, I hope you've had a good day. I'm excited for tomorrow. I can pick you up, but if you're not comfortable with that, we can just meet there. IDKY, but I'm feeling like getting some ice cream in this hot weather. And then he sent the little like hot like emoji, and then he put LOL. And she replied, sorry if this may come off as rude, but I don't do ice cream dates. I'm a 26-year-old, and first of all, she spelled year wrong. It should be YR, it was Y old. 26, oh, I guess, no, she put YO, year old. I get it. Sorry. I don't do text language. She said, sorry, let's go back. Sorry if this may come off as rude, but I don't do ice cream dates. I'm a 26-year-old woman, and a date like that seems like the absolute bare minimum for me. Meeting up would be a waste of both of our times since we probably don't have the same vibe. Best wishes. Girl. A girl. Excuse me, y'all. I gotta take a drink on that one. So listen, on one hand, I respect the quick cutoff game because I'm gonna be honest, sometimes when we're dating, as adults, you have to be quick to be like, no, thank you. This is not for me. Just because we find ourselves, and I will say the older that we get, especially, I'm gonna be honest, especially if you are a Christian and you are dating out here in these grown streets, I'm talking my mid 20s and up crowd. So yeah, 25 to me is still very young. Really in the 30s is where it hits different, but I could even say that. So like, yeah, I'm gonna speak to the 30-year-olds, the 30s and up. Sorry if I just hit the camera. It's hard out here in these streets when you're dating and you find yourself kind of like giving people a chance that you might not normally give a chance because you're like, well, I can't really be stingy right now. I can't really be picky. Stop doing that. I'm not saying be like, oh my God, nobody's good enough for me. I'm not saying that. But like, if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. So on one hand, I respect being able to be like, yeah, no, this is not for me. Because again, especially Christian women, we tend to, be like, oh, well, let me give him a chance. Even though it's like, this is not for you. On the other hand, I'm just going to say it. That text exchange was wrong. I am 30 years old. I love the little things. If I was texting a man and he was like, and I live in Virginia, y'all. Like, it is disrespectfully hot. And it's not just hot, it's humid on top of that. Like, if I was talking to a man and he was like, hey, Aislyn, I'm really excited to see you tomorrow. I hope you had a great day. I was thinking maybe we could do ice cream in this hot weather. I'd be like, yes, you read my mind, bro. There is nothing wrong. Yes, ice cream dates are cute for couples. That's absolutely true. But let's be realistic here. We're not all dating NBA players. We're not all dating athletes. We're not all dating rappers. We're not dating billionaires and millionaires. And some of you never will. I said what I said. It is a new year and I'm coming for y'all's necks. Okay. But for real, be for real. Some of you are never going to date men in that upper 1%. Most of you are never going to date men with millions. Most of you are never going to date men with 6-figure salaries. Okay. You cannot expect what you see on social media and what you see the hot girls and the city girls and the Instagram models and the thotties posting and talking about on social media. You cannot expect that to be your norm because that is not your norm. You are a normal, average, everyday person. Joe Schmo is not going to have 6 figures or 7 figures in his bank account. Joe Schmo is not taking you to Ruth Chris on your first date. You need to humble yourself, baby girl. Period. You need to humble yourself. Like, your first date is not going to consist of you being flown out to Mexico or flown out across the country to be with this guy. Like, you kind of need to humble yourself. Your first date is probably going to be Chili's. Your first date might be ice cream. It is what it is. Like, it's not that deep, because a good first date, it doesn't matter the price tag of the date. It matters the quality of time that you spend with that person. So a good first date should be something chill, something that doesn't embarrass you too much. Like, for me, I don't like to go out to eat on the first date. The only time that we're gonna like eat is if we've been together for an extended period of time and it's like, all right, we need to eat, I'm getting hungry. But my first dates are usually coffee or ice cream, something like that. A walk in the park, like, not a hike, but just like a little walk in the park. Because on your first date, you want to spend more time talking to that person and getting to know that person, and less time, it's less about the money. You want to talk and get to know them. So something like ice cream, something like Starbucks, something like Dunkin', like something like a walk in the park or a little picnic outside is ideal, because you want to get to know that person. You want to know, is there a second date? Should there be a second date? Or is this it? Is this person, do I see myself, moving into dating this person? Or was this a one-time thing? And if it was a one-time thing, because not all first dates lead to marriage, if it was a one-time thing, that's messed up for you to want somebody to spend thousands of dollars on you for a one-time thing. That's raggedy. That's real raggedy. So as women, we really need to humble ourselves. I'm not saying lower your standards. Hear what I'm saying. And then I'm gonna move on from this. I'm not saying lower your standards by any means. I'm not saying settle for less than what you deserve. And I'm not saying settle for the bare minimum. But when it comes to a first date, you need to be realistic. I'm going on this date to get to know this person, to decide if we should continue to see each other. Minimal money needs to be spent, because yes, baby, I might be worth it, but that's not right, because if the tables were turned, you wouldn't like it. Minimal money needs to be spent on this date. Maximum time getting to know each other needs to happen, period. So that's how I feel about this text exchange. I think it's weird. I think it's weird for her to act like that. And I think that, again, y'all need to, the internet it's not reality. We need to stop acting like this. And that's all. So moving on to our next segment, which is Big Ups. Ooh, 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 ooh. So for those of you who are new here, let me tell you about Big Ups. Big Ups is where we just give some like props to people out here in the streets doing good things for the culture. I don't just mean Black culture, I mean for folks. Just in general, doing good things. So let me tell y'all, I don't really have a Big Ups this week. I have not been on the socials that much. But I'll tell you what, I got one. I was going to give y'all one, but I was like, that's kind of dumb. I got one. I'm going to give a Big Ups to my best friend, Susan, and I'm going to tell you why. She has a podcast called The Confession Corner. Go check it out. You can listen to it. I believe it's anywhere. It's definitely on Apple Podcasts, because I listened to it on Apple Podcasts. Pretty sure you can find it on Spotify, Google Podcast, Spotify for podcasters. Basically, anywhere that you can find this podcast, Let's Talk, you can find Confession Corner. I think the only place you cannot find the Confession Corner is on YouTube, because they don't do the visuals. So go check out the Confession Corner. It is hilarious. It is a good time. It is tea. It's great. But my best friend, Susan, she has, again, a podcast called The Confession Corner. She's been on here before. We previewed it. Debuted it here on Let's Talk. And I think back when Let's Talk was just a tele. And in the beginning of her episode, she was talking about like self-care. And she was talking about how she went and got her nails done. Her husband actually paid for her to go and get her nails done over the weekend. And she was like, this is the first time I've like really self-cared. And then she shouted out my business. So if you guys don't know, I have a business called Sans Cran. By A, it means fearless in French. And that goes off of Proverbs 31, 28, 29, where it says, many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. So Anyway, we do nails, custom press on nails. I'm pretty sure I talked about this last time, but we do custom press on nails. These are not a press on set. This is like a polygel / builder gel set that I did myself on my nails, but I do make almost every set that I do on myself, I do make into a press on set so that other people can wear them. I just don't like do nails. But she shouted out my business and how I always get her right and I do good work. So I really appreciate that because I am my biggest critic. And most of the time I hate looking at my work because I'm like, it's trash. It doesn't look as good as this person's. But that was dope of her as a friend because as an influencer and a content creator, the worst people to support you on your journey are the people closest to you. And that is a fact. Ask any of your favorite content creators, your favorite influencers. The absolute worst people are the ones that are the closest to you. It's your family and your friends, especially even as a small business owner. Your family are the last people to buy from you, except my dad. My dad is everything. If he could wear press-on nails, if he was into that, he would. But like, I also make cuticle oil. Like I have this very natural cuticle oil that I make and it does wonders. Like not only does it keep your hands looking youthful, because me, like I change my nails all the time. I'm always in and out of that UV light. And also I have to cure a couple times because sometimes I do the most. It makes your hands look so youthful. Like you might come in, you might start your process and your hands look 85 years old, but when I'm done with them, they're going to be 25. Like, and that's just a fact. Like my cuticle oil not only hydrates, moisturizes, but it gives you youthful hands and it strengthens your nails. And so instead of your nails getting that like peeling effect, like they grow long and strong and like they last longer. And it's great. It's good cuticle oil. If y'all want it, hit me up. I do sell it individually. You don't have to just get it with a kit of nails. But yeah, but my dad, he is my biggest support system. He gets he loves it. He was like, I was telling him about it. He's like, my cuticles do get a little dry. I do need some oil. And so he uses the cuticle oil. But your family and your friends are the worst people to support you when you're a content creator, a small business owner, or an influencer. They are the last people to hop on board. I can't explain the psychology behind that right now. I don't have time, okay? Because we're already like almost 30 minutes into this episode. But they are the worst people to support you. So for my best friend to shout me out like that is dope. And she always does. She is my number one marketer when it comes to the business. She tells everybody about my nails. So that's dope. Big ups to you for not falling into that stigma of people closest to you not supporting your business like they should. So, this is my purple Stanley Cup. Remember I was telling you guys I got a purple one. It's my purple Stanley Cup. I'm still waiting on that sponsorship, Stanley. Where are you? Anyway, last but not least, excuse me, I told you guys I'd be gassy. It comes with weight loss surgery. If you don't like it, tune out. Okay. Last but not least, let's get into, and of course my notes are going to act funky. We're going to get into this last segment we call Flavor in Your Ear. Flavor in Your Ear is where we highlight just something that we're listening to. It can be something new, something old, but we want to put you on to what we're listening to right now. And I do say we because when I have guests, of course, you know, they get in on it too. So I always try to come with 2 songs. Usually I do a secular and a Christian song. I can add a 3rd song. I forgot to put a Christian song on here. I just went through like what I'm listening to the most right now. But for my Christian song, I guess, it's not really new. It's new, but it's newish, but it's not brand new anymore. It's called Silence by Jaywalkers Worship. I love them. I follow them. You guys might know Austin Armstrong, Allie Schnacky. I don't know if that's how you say her last name, but she's adorable. We can talk about that another time. But Allie, Noah, Jaywalkers, just look them up. You guys, I promise you, if you're following the kids on socials, you know Noah. Not Noah, Austin. They all live, Malik, they all like live together in like a big mansion. It's it's giving very like content creator house. Like they all live together in a big home and, they're all best friends. Half of them are siblings. So like Noah, Allie, Colby, and Ella, I think is baby sister's name. They're siblings. And then like Austin and Malik are like the best friends of the boys. And then I don't know if Carol lives there or not. I honestly don't keep up with them on like that level. I just kind of like see them on Instagram. And to be honest, Colby is my favorite because he's beautiful. He's so uh, just hot. Just handsome. Just handsome for no reason. He's so cute. And like, let's be honest, we both have like you guys know I'm basic. We both have like the dimples, like the long, like we both have the dimples. So it's like, think about how cute our kids would be. Like, anyway, that's that. And Kobe, he also loves the Lord. And like, if there's one thing that's super attractive to me in a man, it's a man that has a heart for God. Like, you could be fine all day, but baby, if you are worshiping, if you are praying, oh my God, you're everything. Everything else could be, you could be look crazy like this, but as long as your heart is for Jesus, I can look past that. A man that worships and praises and prays, has a heart for the Lord, a relationship with God, is a fine man. Okay, let me get off of Colby. What was I saying? Jaywalkers. Yeah. Silence. They have a song called Silence. It is very good. And it's one of those songs that like you always, once you listen to it, you're always going to come back to it. Even if you don't listen to it. Like I remember when it first came out, I was riding hard like every single day. I was like, even in the silence, like every day. A mess. I'd be driving. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, but it's also one of those songs that you just come back to, because in every season you're going to be like, oh my God, like, God, you feel so far away. And then you're going to listen, you're going to remember that song Silence. And then, so it's a beautiful song. I love it. It's so true. Moving on, cause I've taken up a lot of your time. I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but it's called Limbo by Keshi. Big into the K-pop right now. Like I said, I love it. It's so chill. It's a good song. And then there's a song called Love Me by Fia. I think his name is Fia. He's an island man. I love it. It's so good. It's so good. Like it has a good vibe. Like I could see myself. I'm pretty chill. I've gotten chiller the older that I've gotten. So like if I was to get married and I was to do it like outside or something, like I could see myself like getting down to that song at my wedding. It slaps. Love Me by Fia, Fia. And then Limbo by Keshi, Keshi. I think that's right. So good. All good songs. So let's move into our topic today, because I promised you guys last week we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it today. Woo! So if you follow me on the socials, you would know that. If you don't, what are you waiting for? You guys can't see it on the podcast, but I had to give YouTube a little wink-a-dink-dink. I think I just blinked that time. Anyway, I posted today that so one of the things, if you guys don't know, I had weight loss surgery in February. I was on a weight loss journey before that. Before I had my surgery in February, I had been in a place where I was constantly working out and like really trying to eat well and like lose weight and like better myself. And I ended up slacking, especially because I knew I was having weight loss surgery. Once I got approved for surgery, I was like, oh, let's ride. You know, we'll be good when it's time for the pre stuff. You know, once we get to the pre stuff, we're good. But until then, like, let's enjoy this time. And the problem with that is I enjoyed this time and actually gained weight. I gained more weight. Excuse me. So, I was at my highest weight ever. I was almost 400 pounds, y'all. I weighed 388. And it was on my 30th birthday that I realized, I actually looked back. And I don't know if I weighed myself that day or not, but I was so unhappy with like, I looked at myself in those pictures and I was unhappy. Like I looked around the room at everybody in the room on my birthday, and it was a small get together, and I was unhappy. I was like, I'm the biggest person in this room. And I was just like, I literally had a whole depressive moment on my birthday. Like to the point where my sister, who was almost 10 years older than me, out danced us all. And I was like, I don't want to dance anymore. And I didn't want to dance anymore because I felt bad about myself. So I did realize I needed to make a change, and I did. And so I started like getting serious, and I ended up losing about 11 pounds from then, before like 11 pounds, and then right before like the pre-op stage. And then I went down another. So I was like officially 20-30 pounds down from my highest weight when I went into surgery. But since I've had surgery, I am down, and from my highest weight ever. So I calculate from when I was 388 pounds. And that is very vulnerable for me to share. I was very nervous about saying that because I hide my weight. I've usually been able to hide it. But from 388 pounds, my highest. Today I stepped on the scale and I am almost out of the 300s. I literally have 5 pounds to go. It's insane. It is insane. And so I'm down 83 pounds in total from my highest weight. And that was just like crazy to me. I was like, oh my God, I've lost so much weight. Like I'm really proud of myself because I've come a long way, and it's not just about looking good. I always felt like I was that girl and am, okay? But I feel so much better, and I'm so excited to see where it goes. I have a goal of being around 160, 170. I think 170 is actually about right for my height. I'm a tall girl. I'm 5'8". But for me, I'm like, I want that little cushion. So 160, I'd like to sit at a size 8'10". I don't feel like I need to be a stick figure. BMI says I need to be 132. I would be invisible. Y'all see the straw on the Stanley Cup? That would be me. No. So I don't want to sit there. That'd be too skinny. But I would like to sit at a comfortable size 8'10", mid-size, I think would be good for me. And it's going to look different on me than somebody that you would already recognize as mid-size, because like people are used to seeing me plus size. So that's my goal. But today I want to talk. So let's talk about weight loss. First of all, I'm going to go through some common questions that I get and just some highlighted things. And yeah. So yeah, happy 83 pounds down to me. It's been 7 months since I had surgery. So it's been 7 months since I was at my highest weight. So, and 6 months since I've had surgery. So 83 pounds is a big deal. I could have cried this morning when I looked at the scale because I didn't want to, but then I did. So number one, FAQs. Number one, when did I have surgery? I had surgery February 7th of 2023. It was the best day of my life. My hedgehog died like 2 days prior. And that's because I believe homegirl was on her way to heaven anyway, but I believe like she knew I was prepping for this, and she knew I would not be in a good place to be able to take care of her while I was recovering. And neither would my roommate, because my roommate was on my butt. I was trying to do laundry like that first week that I came home, and she was like, put that basket down, like mad. So, but yeah, the hedgehog is irrelevant. We love her. God rest her soul. I know she's happy. But yeah, February 7th, 2023 is the day I had surgery. And I went in still high, but again, 20 plus pounds down from my highest weight, which was so amazing. It's funny because even like I made a video on my TikTok, that one's like, and like I showed like from before surgery, from my birthday to like, I think 3 months post-op. And my friend was like, you even look smaller on the morning of your surgery, you look smaller. And I was like, well, yeah, because on my birthday, I realized I was almost 400 pounds. And I was like, nah, sis, we can't do this. So I busted my butt. So yeah, February 7th. Why did I have the surgery? I had the surgery because I wanted to better myself. I wanted to be the best version of me. I want to be the healthiest version of me. There are things that I haven't been able to do in a long time, like go to an amusement park and ride a ride. There are things that I want to do, like travel. I love to travel, and I don't let my size stop me, but I'm tired of traveling with a seatbelt extender, and I'm tired of excuse me, sorry, somebody was calling. And I'm tired of having to like ask for a seatbelt extender every time I travel. So I just want to be able to do things a lot easier and a lot freer. And so that's why I had weight loss surgery. And I want to be my healthiest. Like, that's super important to me. I want to be my healthiest. I do plan to have kids one day. I know anybody that knows me personally knows that like one of the things I say a lot is that like, I don't want to get married. I don't want a man. And sometimes it's true, and sometimes it's like a defense mechanism. And if you know me personally, you know that it's a defense mechanism. But at the same time, sometimes it is true, because like, I be at peace, man. I am at peace. And like, to the idea of somebody coming into my life, I've been through so much relational trauma, and we can talk about that in another episode. But the idea of somebody coming into my life at the place where I'm at with my peace and ruining that, I don't want that. I don't want that. So yeah, and I mean that would look like, and I've told people have asked, and I've told people like, well, yeah, if I decide not to get married, I still want to be a mother. Like I still very much want to be a mother, and I want to have a family, and I want a lot of kids. I want like 4 to 6 kids. Like 6 would be dope, but I feel like we'd be pushing it because it would be hard for us to all fit in the same car together. But if I was to not get married, I would probably adopt 6 children, not all at once, and then we'd all fit just fine because that'd be one less person, or 4. But yeah, so, but even if I didn't adopt, if I do get married and I do have kids, I want my body to be able to carry them and me not have to worry about, I mean, there's always gonna be complications, but like, it would be a much safer pregnancy. Now, it does scare me to get pregnant in the future, especially because I've had this surgery, but I know me, I know my habits. And so I don't see me going through all of this and then being that person that gains it all back, or having a baby and then gaining it all back. I see very healthy pregnancies, and I see baby weight coming off. You got to remember, a decent portion of the weight that you gain when you get pregnant is the baby itself. So as soon as that baby comes out of you, those pounds are gone. Like if your baby is 9 pounds, 9 pounds of if you gain 20 pounds, if you gain 10 pounds, well, if you only gain 10 pounds in pregnancy and 9 pounds of that is your baby, then like, that's crazy. But that's what I'm saying. So like up to like 9-10 pounds of your weight gain in pregnancy is the baby itself. So, but yeah, what changes have I noticed? I would say the biggest change is my energy. I do have a lot more energy now. It definitely has affected my mental health has been affected a lot. It's definitely changed. And they said, you'd be a little bit more, especially in the beginning. So that's just one of those things. Country coming out of me. One of them things. I noticed I had been on anxiety medication before I had surgery, but I do feel like they are going to have to up my dose because I don't feel like it's working the same way it was. Physical features, obviously my face, my dimples have been dimpling since I was like 2 months post-op. My dimples have been dimpling. My face has gotten so much thinner, and I've gotten thinner. Of course, the boobs, they're still big and voluptuous, but they are starting to like, they're starting to pancake a little bit. They're starting to flatten. And it's not, to me, that's not the end of the world. Like boobs are boobs, and like babies kind of fill out the boobies for a while too when you have like your milk and stuff and you are pregnant. But also like, I'm not worried about that. Like health over everything else. Like if I want to one day and get a boob job to like lift them back up, I could. So it's not the end of the world. Same thing with loose skin. It's not the end of the world. I do have a lot more bat wing. I'm gonna give you a little shake. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm gonna give you a little shake right here. I do have a lot more bat wing under my arms, that I didn't have before. And that's just because like you're losing weight, like that's loose skin. So like, it's not a big deal. The one place I don't have a lot of loose skin is on my midsection. And that's because my dietitian was like, sis, wear your waist trainer, wear your Spanx, wear your spandex. And I do, not every day, not all the time, but I do work out. I do work out in my waist trainer every day. But like, I only wear Spanx, and I wear spandex when necessary, like when I'm working out or if I'm wearing them underneath a dress or something. And I wear Spanx, underneath the dresses and skirts still, because it just kind of holds it all together. So the midsection, not as much loose skin. It's really all here in the arms, a little bit on the thighs, but I'm not worried about that. How has it affected your self-image and mental health? My self-image has always been like, I'm gonna be honest, my self-image has improved. I had times where I've always like loved myself, but I have had times, and that stems back to trauma, and we're not gonna get into that right now, where I've just kind of looked at myself and been like, ugh, I don't like her, but I would say my self-image has actually improved. I was looking at myself today, like I was looking at a picture of myself from Easter, and I was like, I'm like in a little pose, and like, it's like the back of me, and I'm just like, ha ha ha. And I was like, she is, yeah, she's cute, honey. She is cute. So yeah, that's that. I definitely would say my self-image has improved. I enjoy looking at myself. I think I'm gorgeous. And I've always been beautiful, but I definitely, now I see it more, especially like it's crazy. Like as my face changes, I'm like, oh my God. And my mental health, like I said before, it has affected. I definitely would say that on top of my anxiety, there is a bit of depression that has like creeped in there. And I think some of that is like, I think some of it is circumstantial. But I mean, I don't know. I think some of it is circumstantial. I think a lot of it, excuse me, is centered around, it also comes with like the fact that I'm 30 and like there's so many things that I haven't done yet. But I also have to realize 30 is the new 20. Like legitimately 30 is the new 20. And like life is just beginning for me at 30. And I have moments where I'm like this right now and I'm like, life is just beginning for me at 30. And then I have other moments where I'm like, oh my God, I'm 30. So it just depends. But it has affected my mental health in that way. I'm aware of that. And when I meet with my therapist this weekend, that's one of the things we're going to discuss. I feel like my dose for my Lexapro is probably going to have to be upped, as well as I might have to be on something for depression. And that sucks because that's not a place that I want to be, but I have to do what's best for me in this season. So yeah. Biggest changes so far, again, the face. Look at her. Hello. Hey, the cheekbones are cheekboning. Okay. I don't know why I just pinched my face. Oh my God. The cheekbones are cheekboning. The dimples are dimpling. And yeah, the face has been the biggest change. I noticed that clothes that I had before I had surgery that did not fit at all fit. And some of them fit like too big. Like I had a pair of pants I bought from Boohoo in my size. And, hit the camera again. I had a pair of pants I bought from Boohoo in my size before I had surgery, long before I had surgery, and they did not fit at all. Couldn't even get them over the thighs. Now they're too big. And it's crazy. I'm like, oh my God. So clothes that didn't fit now fit me. Clothes that fit too big are of course hanging off of me. And some clothes that, fit before, again, they're fitting too big. Like, so that's one of the biggest changes. Like, clothes are fitting differently. My face is facing. What else? I mean, yeah, the bat wings. Like, but again, that's to me, that's not a big deal. Like, it is what it is. Like, if I want to get it removed one day and I want to get it like fixed, I can. Like, it's not the end of the world. So that would be the biggest change. And then of course my mental health, like the way that has kind of taken its toll. That's been a big change too. Foods that I miss. Tuna. I used to love tuna, man. And like, maybe, I'm gonna be honest, I did make a healthier version of tuna. So I used Greek yogurt the last time I made it instead of like mayo or Miracle Whip. But still, there was something about it that I was just like, and I normally like it like that. Like, I'm okay with using Greek yogurt as a substitute to make it more healthy. But that's one of those things that I really loved. And now I'm like, I would say actually seafood in general, like except for salmon. I used to tolerate salmon before I had surgery because it was like, oh, salmon's so healthy. Everybody loves salmon. Now I love salmon. Like when I get sushi, if it ain't got salmon, I don't want it. I love salmon, especially smoked salmon. Oh my God. I love salmon. Like salmon me up, baby. But yeah, tuna and crab and shrimp. To me, shrimp are just, I've never liked lobster. It's a texture thing. I've never liked it. But for me, shrimp, like they're just kind of like now. Like I used to love shrimp and now I'm just like, it's a shrimp. Whatever. Like it's just like and then crab. I used to love crab legs. Like I used to love crab just in general. And now, like for whatever reason, it tastes too sweet to me. It's weird. So those would be my biggest things. I used to love those. I do kind of miss them because like I love crabs. I love a good seafood boil, but like it just don't taste the same right now. Now foods that I really like that I didn't before, soup, carrots, things like that. Like, yeah, I used to not like those foods. Now I love them. My love for rice has not changed. I love rice. I'm gonna turn into a ball of rice one day. I love it. How much have I lost so far? 83 pounds. 83 pounds for my highest weight. And then if you shave roughly 20 pounds off of that from when I had surgery, it would be 63 pounds. So 63 pounds if you're going from my surgery date, 83 pounds from my highest weight, which to me counts. I know for the surgeon, he don't care about before him, but I do. So 83 pounds is what I have lost, because when I came to him, I was almost 400 pounds. My goal weight again was 160, 170, which is the last question. What is your goal weight? 160, 170. And I want to be a size 8'10". I'm hitting things right now. I want to be a size 8'10". I think that's a good spot for me. I think that that's going to fare well with my height and my stature and everything. And yeah, it's really exciting. So, yeah, that's it. That's it. So that's the goal, 160, 170. Knowing me, I'm probably going to get lower than that. And then my family's going to be like, oh my God, she's a stick figure. And that's okay. She's still a sexy stick figure with a booty. But yeah, so that's the goal. It's really more about a goal size for me, but I would say to be that size, that's the weight range I'd have to stay in, 160 to 170. And that's fine with me. Like, it's all about health. Like, who am I doing this for? You know what I mean? Like, me and my health. So I would say to end this episode, if you are on a journey, whether you have just started your journey, whether you're thinking about weight loss surgery, whether you're restarting, just don't give up. Don't quit. Just keep doing it. Keep going. And I'm going to tell you, because you owe it to yourself. You're worth it. Like, what ifs are not going to get you there. Worry is not going to get you there. But consistency is going to get you there. And I will give you this fair warning. If you are thinking about weight loss surgery, is my mic? Okay. It's like the mics at church. You can hear it sometimes, you can't. If you are thinking about having weight loss surgery, you've got to discipline your mind first. It's not like, yes, of course, how you see yourself and your mental health and all of that, but also if you want to keep the weight off indefinitely, you are going to have to discipline yourself, because number one, your portion sizes are going to be small, and you need to prepare for your portion sizes to be small for the rest of your life. They're not going to be as small as they are right away pre-op. One day your portions will be back to normal adult portion sizes. But when I say normal adult portion sizes, that is a serving size. Your portions will get up to about a serving size. You will not be eating big portions of food like you were ever again. So you need to get that out of your mind, because if you do that, you're going to get sick and you're going to hurt yourself, and you don't want to do that. Number two, with that, it's also about what you eat. You need to start, there's honestly, guys, there's no reason to eat like deep fried things all the time. Like, it's okay to have a vegetable, and it's okay for your vegetable not to be smothered in butter and gravy. Like, you're going to have to change how you eat. You are going to have to start adding home cooked things, not as many processed things into your diet, and things that are good for you into your diet. Like, it just is what it is. Like, that's what you're going to have to do. So that's my biggest thing. If you're thinking about weight loss surgery, work on your mental first, work on your mind, and work on you first, because those changes are necessary if you want to keep this weight off indefinitely. And that's really it. But other than that, like, even if you're still thinking about it, or like I said, if you're starting over, or if you're doing it, no surgery. So it's different for everybody. I've seen people lose more weight than what I've lost so far post-op, no surgery. I don't know how they did it, but they did. Everybody's genetics are different, and they play a part. So more power to you. But I don't care if you're starting over. I don't care if you're just starting. I don't care if you're going to start tomorrow. Like, do it. Do it because it's the best thing for you. Do it because you deserve it. Don't do it for anybody else. Do it for you. And change your mind, change your habits. It is necessary. Nobody's saying you can't ever have a piece of fried chicken or a donut again, but you're going to have to be better about it. You have to be smarter about it, and you only get one donut, and you only get one piece of fried chicken, and it is what it is. So thank you guys so much for being here. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here listening to me ramble on and on and on and on and on. And for that, I am eternally grateful. Shout out to everybody listening from every city, every state, every province, every country, every town, every village, every continent. You guys are the best. You guys are the absolute best. I'm so happy that you guys are here and sharing with me, and I'm happy to be sharing with you guys. And yeah, that's really it. I'm just happy. I'm happy to be here. I'm just happy to be here. So shout out to all you guys that are listening. If you guys have questions, if you need help, tips, advice, whatever, when it comes to your weight loss journey, like feel free to DM me. You can follow me literally on all the platforms at Aislyn Wade. That is me. I'm Aislyn Wade everywhere. That's Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Aislyn Wade, everywhere. So find me at Aislyn Wade, hit me up, and I would love to share with you guys. I'd love to chat with you guys. You guys are the best. And don't forget to, leave this episode a little 5-star rating. You know what I'm saying? But also share this with a friend. Share this with somebody who needs to hear it. Share it with somebody who is struggling right now in their journey or just needs some encouragement. Like, this is here for you. I'm not here to hoard these episodes. It's here for you guys. So anyway, thank you guys. And I'm going to see you guys in the next one. And remember, do it for you because you're worth it, baby. Bye.